What else? Bientôt le collège. Bientôt le collège. Bientôt le collège.
God is great, and all the time, and that is his nature. Oh, Your Excellency, Lazarus Amayo, the dignitaries present here today, and my lovely dignitaries, the youth, who have made this evening a wonderful evening. Without the youth, what would we have done? I'm talking about this because this month has been a wonderful month for Kenyans. And it's wonderful to see the Kenyan diaspora come together in this magnitude. Just 2 days ago, we had 3 Kenyans who won the Queen's Young Leaders Award. And that's not something to take for granted. 2 weeks ago, the Saturday of 13th, I was also officiating over Sunday school children, 3-year-old, singing Sunday school songs and competition. It's a wonderful month to see the youth, and especially you, the diaspora adults and parents. I want to commend you and congratulate you for instilling patriotism to the little ones, because the diaspora is here to stay. You are the 48th county in Kenya. The president allows all this and believes in the diaspora as a source of our development in Kenya. And we don't take it for granted. This is a demonstration that indeed we should pursue diaspora policy with the aggression it deserves. And I want to commend everybody for being here. Today was not my day to give a presentation, but still I want to commend everybody that we are putting up an infrastructure as the Kenya High Commission to create an enabling environment such that the UKNTV events such as this, which I'm proud to be associated with because I encouraged Janet, UKNTV, 2013, to look for a forum where the youth can come together. And because we've been concentrating on the adults, the entrepreneurs, the professionals, then we said, diaspora will die at some point. Who will continue with the diaspora after the adults go? And here it is, Janet took the initiative as we talked in the office and said, Madam Yonga, I will try. Put something of interest. Here before we were having forums where the youth were not coming, but you've mixed pleasure with business. And so the diaspora can participate. It is beauty with a purpose. I know it's getting late, so I would wish to invite His Excellency Lazarus Amayo, the High Commissioner. Some of you may not have met him. He's been here for November last year, so he's pretty not quite old as me, who has been here for 3.5 years. But he's taken diaspora as serious as the president has. I hope you are aware there's a diaspora policy that now gives a very good infrastructure on how we engage with the diaspora. I believe you must have seen it in our website. If not, those who attended the diaspora conference saw the articulation and the seriousness with which the government takes the diaspora. And that is why the High Commissioner and myself made sure that we were here for the diaspora function, and especially for the young ones to be encouraged to see that we take them serious. Please let us put our hands together to invite His Excellency Lazarus Amayo.
Thank you very much, Ambassador Yonga. Madam Janet Wainaina and UKTV Major David Karau, the chief sponsor and CEO for King's Pride Properties, my colleagues from the Kenya High Commission, and Madam, distinguished participants and artists that performed this evening, fellow Kenyans, friends of Kenya, ladies and gentlemen, amjambo. It's just a greeting in Kiswahili. You can let your neighbor know, because back at home, any Kenyan who has gone to school speaks at least 3 languages. They speak English like you do here. The accent may be different. They speak Kiswahili, and they also speak what? A mother tongue. And so I would encourage you also, as you speak English here, to also attempt to learn another foreign language. If you're looking from a UK perspective, learn Kiswahili. You can also learn any other UN languages, of late including Chinese, because the market might require that. Thank you very much, Janet and team, for inviting us to join you this evening in this wonderful occasion that I personally enjoyed. And I would not wish to take your time out of this enjoyment to make many remarks, because what I was able to witness this evening is quite commendable. I've seen here even a family outing. I've seen parents that have come with their children. I've seen bonding between parents and children and their children. I've also seen people enjoying music, which is in the African blood. I could see many dancing to the rhythms, even when they are seated, and especially when there was a song about Wanjiku. I saw those named Wanjiku dance. Quite a number were dancing seated, but there are those that took courage to stand up and dance. And Mwangi of, where is Mwangi from Finchley? Mwangi from Finchley was also very busy here dancing. That is part of our heritage. We thank you for bringing Kenyans together. And Janet, you may not know, it is not only showcasing the talent that we have, but also an event of this nature creates a provision for networking. Not only networking for business, but even networking for life partners. And so we hope out of this gathering, out of the contacts you're making, next time we'll be invited to come to celebrate weddings that have arisen out of these arrangements. It also helps to cement the bonds. In as much as Kenyans are very open, we marry from anywhere, but we'd also encourage marriage between Kenyans so that the culture does not disappear. And so thank you very much for that effort. And may I at this particular moment reiterate what Ambassador Yonga was saying, that the High Commission is open to you, is committed to working with you to promote and market a product called Kenya. That product called Kenya is a wonderful product. The government of President Uhuru Kenyatta has created an enabling environment back at home to promote Kenya in all facets, whether it is in the economic front, the business front, the family ties, the tourism front, our role in the region and beyond. And so we look upon you as key players in promoting Kenya. Why do I say so? Kenya has many, many superlatives, apart from the unfortunate isolated incidences like the ones you had on the terrorist attacks. But we've come to say that terrorism is a global challenge that requires concerted international efforts to contain, is not unique to Kenya. And even yesterday, events of yesterday all go to confirm that all of us need to work together to contain the menace. The government of Kenya has enhanced security, increased security, provided for security, and we believe that with continued collaboration with the partners, we should be able to make the country much, much safer for you and I, as Kenyans, and even for investors. Why do we market Kenya? We say there are many good things about us. When you hear people talk about Kenya, please tell them your version also. Don't just go on the narrative that other people give. Give your narrative also, because you know that country much better than somebody else. When it comes to economic growth rates, we are proud to say that we are among the third fastest growing economies in the continent. We are the fifth largest economy in sub-Saharan Africa. We are the ninth largest economy in the whole of Africa. But we are the most diversified economy in Africa and most liberal. And what else to add? So far, we are also the largest non-mineral based economy in Africa. But thanks be to God, I think delay in revelation of the minerals that we had was for a purpose. The last 3 years, we have registered significant discoveries of commercially viable petroleum, oil and gas, and now coal, iron ore, precious metals. Honorable Lala just left yesterday. Honorable Lala was in London to attend an Africa Top Mining Conference, and he was able to articulate our situation, the reforms that we have done to make mining become a significant contributor to our national GDP. And so with what you had Major Karau telling you, there's more at home. There's more at home, just like here in UK. We cherish our bilateral trade. And you are a player, but you can become a bigger player. I know when you talk around 10 o'clock and the wines had also gone around, attention span may also not be very wide now. It is important to summarize, but let me say that we would like you to continue creating more market access for our products. Why am I saying so? UK is our second largest export destination as Kenya. Number one being Uganda. In this market, if you look at our products, whether they are horticultural, flowers, tea, coffee, what would I like to say? If you take tea, Kenyan tea, you and I know, is the best black tea in the whole world. Here in this country, Kenyan tea accounts for 51% of the market share. All the tea sold in this country, 51% originate from Kenya. All the flowers sold in this country, 28% come from Kenya. Right? In this country. If you take the flowers, if it is roses, 7 out of 10 roses sold in this country originate from Kenya. And so this is a very important market for us. And you can play a role also in sourcing for these goods from Kenya. Tourism, this is where I would like to have 1 minute of your attention. Tourism has been a significant source of foreign exchange and employer in Kenya. As I said, the unfortunate isolated terrorist attacks really affected our tourism industry. But as we said, as a government, we've taken measures to enhance security. We are proud of what we're doing. Just in the budget concluded 3 weeks ago, the government did allocate 100 billion shillings for enhancing security. 100 billion shillings, another 100 billion for defense. We are enhancing the police numbers, recruited 10,000 this year, we'll recruit another 10,000 next year. We are improving their welfare, enhancing insurance for them, vetting so that we only have those that we need to have. The country is peaceful. We have had isolated cases. It is not the whole of Kenya. Please remember, in terms of GDP, UK is bigger than Africa, right from Cairo to Cape Town. EAC, Commerce, and SADC put together. But in terms of area, UK is just half the size of Kenya. So if something happens in one extreme end, it doesn't mean the whole country is what? Is affected. Who is better placed to convince people on that? You are better placed than me. By you yourselves also visiting, because you've been visiting, you can continue to visit. You can encourage a friend to visit. And Janet, for this evening, those that are younger than 20 years, some of them were born here. The older generation know about Kenya. They know they have their roots. Soon you are going to have a generation that was not born in Kenya, might have never gone to Kenya. And that is why this event is important. Those are the people that we need you to encourage to visit Kenya. Take their friends from universities to visit Kenya. In that way, our contribution would still be big, and you'll be guaranteeing their connection with Kenya for ages to come. This is a challenge that we give to you, and we believe you can be able to do it. We value security for ourselves, for our guests, and for our properties. And so the government will remain committed in this regard. And I'm happy to say we are collaborating with the government of the United Kingdom in this regard. There are 25,000 British nationals that have chosen Kenya as their home, just like there are, according to the Home Office here, 150,000 persons, Kenyans or persons of Kenyan origin that have chosen UK as their home. It is therefore in our mutual interest to have good, warm, and cordial bilateral relations between our two countries. Another day we'll get a chance to say much more, but suffice to say that we are proud of you. We are proud of Kenyans as you are. We are not only good in business, we are good in many other areas. Even if it is athletics, the marathons, it is only news if we don't win. If we win, it is taken for granted that we'll be getting the win. And when it comes to being innovative or creative on ICT, Kenyans are a stage ahead of the rest. We are the regional headquarters for most of the international firms that you have operating in Africa. Quite a number have relocated back to Nairobi. All I need you to say is that ukisikia mtu akizungumza vibaya juu ya Jamhuri ya Kenya, tafadhali umuonyeshe the other side of the story. Usiende kusema kwamba hata mimi nasikia ni namna hiyo tu. And Janet, can you stand? We clap for you again. Can you clap for this lady? Thank you very much for your interest. Yes, that is Mrs. Shundu. I think let me say that the High Commission encourages and supports diaspora events of this nature. But would encourage the diaspora to have those that have a wider umbrella. Smaller ones may not be easy for the High Commission to be represented in at all times. But if you are broader-based organizations, it becomes easier for us to participate. But we have no interference in which organizations you form and how you run them. Our role is only to facilitate, and please feel free to touch base with us. We are here for you. Last but not least, nimesema muko karibu 150. lakini wale ambao wamejiandikisha na Kenya High Commission kama wana Kenya na 7,000 peke yake. Sasa sijui ni kwa sababu gani mnakataa kujiandikisha. Hebu niwahakikishie ya kwamba details ambayo mtatupatia ni siri yetu baina ya sisi, ninyi na sisi. You can now register online. If you look at the website, the newly redesigned website is more informative, keeps you abreast with what goes on in Kenya. You can download, print if you are challenged by the IT. If not, you can register and can register online and return. There are pieces of information required of you. The ones that you feel free you should give us, please provide and forward. If you have some reservations, because some people say they would like to give information, lakini hawataki kupeana pahali wanakaa, na wengine pia hawataki kupeana telephone number. But in terms of emergency, sio UK, kama ni nje, it is important to get those, because you've seen cases where we've been doing evacuation. The government has paid for evacuation. It's easier when you know where your nationals are. Lakini we don't anticipate that here. All that we are asking is, as you anticipate to do the diaspora voting, the IEBC would like to go by the registered persons. If you don't register, just a mere figure of saying you're 150,000 would not make them to provide the polling stations outside London. That is the plea. Is a request, ikiwezekana. Na kwa haya machache, na Mungu awabariki. Thank you very much.
Before the High Commissioner go, we would like to honor Her Excellency, because it's the first time the High Commissioner has been to the face of Kenya, UK. So Her Excellency, Mrs. Lazarus Amayo, kindly come to the front, please. Come and escort and thank you very much for staying with us and for coming to celebrate young people empowering themselves as Kenyans.